Welcome to another episode of Tufftalk, man, from the Atlanta series, man. But today, man, I not only in Atlanta, I got a hometown man, the Wolf, man.
You already know, representing Philly.
Representing Philly, man.
Appreciate Bigsnoop for the opportunity, bro. I gotta commend you before we get started.
You for the opportunity, bro.
You know what I mean? Cause nah, man, I like what you're doing, man. Like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We need it. It's impactful. And like, you leading the charge right now. So I appreciate you. I just want to give you your flowers on camera, bro. I appreciate what you're doing, bro.
Yeah, he just took over the show, man, because that's what Bigsnoop do, man. Bigsnoop love to give people their flowers because don't wait till they dead to tell them that you're doing great, young man. You know what I mean? So we got to empower each other, man. And we had a good conversation off camera, but now we on camera, man, and my fans expect something, man. And I know that you are a great young black man. I saw after you, I seen you last night, and I knew once I heard about you, I need you to come on the show. Thanks for coming, man. You know, but what you want to talk about first, man? Because we got so much to talk about. Perspective.
Okay.
Perspective. The way you nail perspective.
Okay. So when we talk about perspective, we talk about from a standpoint of like how we look at things coming from the hood versus like the real world, like what perspective in relationships, like where you want to take it. Like
as men who has not only been in the hood,
okay,
so we can't say, oh, we just hood product and all that. We've been in different places.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we socialize different places.
Hell yeah.
So the perspective I mean is like perspective on like a person believing in themselves.
Okay.
A person, the way you want to be perceived by the people.
Okay.
You know, stuff like that. Like what makes you great? How did you have the courage to grab on the greatness and don't care about the insecurities, the insecure men and women that say, you can't say that, you ain't great. How did you still hold on to that and say, I'm great?
Crazy thing about it, man, like we already said off camera, we wasn't going to hold no punches. I felt like it was kind of forcefully instilled into me, you know what I mean? Like coming up, like I didn't even understand like that I had a purpose, but I knew that I was put here to do something. And then like, I don't know why I just felt like, even as a child, I felt like I used to feel targeted in a sense, because I always felt like there was some type of spotlight on me, like, you know what I mean? Coming into the world, I came in premature. So like from the beginning of me coming out of my mom, I didn't leave the hospital until she was about 11 months. Then I came home and I was on I was in an incubator in the hospital for 11 months. Then I came home with a heart monitor for like the first year and a half of my life. So I'm almost approaching 2 by the time I'm actually able to like walk like a toddler and do regular stuff. So just, I can't reflect directly on how it was, but just understanding the amount of attention that it was required of me at such a young age, I always knew that I had some type of extra light shining on me, you see what I'm saying? And then me having this nose, like I can't escape what's on my face, like I had this nose, so I always garnered attention wherever I went. And when I was younger, I didn't like it because people would talk about it. You see what I'm saying? My siblings would talk about it. My siblings would tell me stories about how they hated when I was in the household because of all of the machines that was required for me to be there and how loud it was, or if I coughed once, the whole house jumping up and scared that I'm about to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back and forth to the hospital. So this is stuff that I learned like early in my childhood, but later than being 1 and 2 and everything like that. But it was something that I had to realize. I'm like, the world tried to reject me coming in. I came into the world of reject. I came in 6 and my mom 6 months pregnant. The doctors told me I had no shot of living for it. They told me even as I was growing up and I could think about being young, they would tell me like, yo, you're not gonna live past age 16. You're not gonna be taller than 4'11". Just different shit like that. I wasn't supposed to never be able to be medically cleared to play sports. So like when we talk about what people got to say about me, I overcame everything the doctor said. They were supposed to be the one that broke my faith. You see what I'm saying? But it made me realize like I was being guided and guarded by the higher power. There was nothing that could stop me. So like as I got older, I started to translate that to like something like a drive. Like wait, like I'm not even supposed to be here. So I was like, I felt like there was nothing that could stop me. It wasn't no pain that somebody could tell me. I don't give a fuck what you think about me because at the end of the day, the people that I fought knew what they was talking about, didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. So how can I expect somebody else out here that might not be as educated or just might be dealing with their own personal shit that's trying to project whatever they feel onto me? I can't accept that.
That's perspective.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm in control of my fate, you know what I mean?
Bottom line.
So I couldn't allow nobody to write me out. So when we talk about where I'm at today, and that's just from one perspective of going through like things with health, which I rarely talk about. This is me getting like real person. I could just talk about just being exposed to different shit because like me being a kid and seeing other shit is what made me realize that life is bigger than my 4 corners of my neighborhood.
Just you talking about what you're talking about, it's more than what you just said it to be. Like your young body was fighting to be here, bro. fighting. No matter what they said and wrote you off, your young body was fighting. You a fighter from the fucking rip, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
From the rip, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, and this story is a story that needs to be heard because it's someone else like you.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not unique in this world that we're the only ones that went through this. You know, it's somebody out there that may watch this show and say, damn, I've been through the same thing, but their turn on might be different. They might be full of insecurities, because that's one thing that our community suffers from. Insecurities and lack of hope. You know what I mean? So people like us it's our job to get on these cameras and talk.
100%.
It's our job to go to these schools and talk. We had to say the babies because it's our future.
They are the future, baby. Without
Exactly.
them, we don't got no future.
And we had to teach them that. Like you just gave us, man, it's from the way that you see things, it's the will be your outcome.
Yeah, 100%.
So you see it and you can achieve it,
100%.
or you see it and you don't achieve it.
They say whether you say you can or you can't, either way you're right.
Break that down. Because that's what you was breaking down actually on your page.
They saying what? Damn, I want to say Henry Ford. Quote Henry Ford. He said, whether you can or you can't, either way you're right. So if you're saying you can do something, your perspective in doing it, your confidence behind it, your drive behind it is going to be consistent with the fact that you know you can do it. Somebody that feel like they can't, all their actions will reflect somebody who's saying they can't do it because they already don't believe off the rip that it's even possible. So if you see something that's impossible, you don't even give the effort. But when you see something that's possible, then you do whatever you got to do to see it through. So whether you can or you can't, either way you're right. So for the people that's out here that is watching, you got to change your perspective. You got to change your mindset and understand that anything that you do want to do, you can do. Anything that you didn't do is just something you have to accept. That's something you didn't want to do. And a lot of people got to accept themselves and not try to be socially accepted and trying to be accepted by the community. Because one thing I do know, and I'm pretty sure you know, coming up in the hood, like the streets accept anybody. So it's like it don't matter who you they will put you in a row. Like you're gonna be the shooter, the driver, the motherfucking person that know how to get money, the person that's gonna be the lookout. You're gonna have a role based on whatever they feel that they can
Equal opportunity.
You see what I'm saying? But you gotta reject that in a sense. Like I'm not telling you to step away from, because we from where we from.
How old are you?
I'm 27. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we from where we from. I would never turn my back, because the shit that I went through in the streets is what shaped me to be the man I am today. And had I not endured that, had I not experienced that, I wouldn't even be able to talk with this much wisdom. But when I realized that a lot of people be scared to be the reject of the hood. Nigga, like when I stopped going down my way and I started to want more, yeah, that come with some resistance. Oh, you this, you a sellout, all that. Because niggas don't understand that we are fighting to stay the same. When I'm fighting to change while they fighting to make me stay the same. And it's like, it's not even intentional, because niggas don't know no better. So that's just what's projected. So it's like a motherfucker that make it out almost get casted like the outcast, what makes them scared to leave. And then on top of that, you got us being driven by fear, because if you in a situation where you got beefs, you know you get sense of protection when you around the niggas that you claim to be your day one, the niggas you love. There's a lot of insecurity and being vulnerable, being out in the world. A lot of these young boys want jobs but can't work in certain areas because they can't be somewhere for 9 hours. Somebody might come blow their head off on there. This is the fear that's being instilled. So it's like when I realized that, I'm like, damn, what was everything that I faced trying to leave the street? It was, damn, like, how am I gonna protect myself? Niggas still gonna respect me, niggas gonna respect my hands, they're gonna think I'm still capable. And then I had to tell myself that I realized, like, yo, no matter where you put the man ain't gonna change. I know my capabilities, but I'm not limited to just picking up a pistol. Like, I know my capabilities, so that means I can run a fucking company, if I can run a block, I can run the world, you see what I'm saying? So it's just about showing the young boys that, like, nigga, you can look like us, you can talk like me, you can dress like me, do the fuck you want, and you ain't gotta worry about what somebody got to say, or you don't gotta live in fear of something, because a lot of niggas be scared that they have no catch. You turned this shit all the way around. You did 22 years, bro. You turned this shit around. A lot of these niggas running around for 22 years feeling like the shit they did 22 years ago gonna catch them. So they can't even go to their future. You see what I'm saying? So because they keep looking at their rear view. So when I think about it, it's just like, if we gonna do anything in regards to insecurity, it comes with just knowing yourself, accepting yourself, and going for what you want, and knowing like you deserve that shit. Not because of what somebody else say, but because it's honestly what you want. You get what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna take up the whole camera time.
That's why, no, it's your show, bro. That's why we here. I'm here to talk to you. It's your interview. They want to hear you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but we're gonna go to commercial break and come right back, man. I'm gonna unleash the wolf on y'all.
what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't to take away from it because I did it for so long, but it just, this is now it's time to elevate. Like you said, education is important. If you're a young boy and you're in school, appreciate that shit. Because even when you get out of school, you gotta figure out what you like doing and learn as much about it. You don't gotta just like educate yourself in the borders of the classroom. You don't gotta limit yourself to math, social studies, history. That shit might be boring. But you might be a motherfucker that's into sports and you can become a sports analyst. Like you could be a graphic designer, you could be a photographer, you could be a cameraman. There's so much shit you could do with your God-given talents that's outside of the shit that they might even offer you in your conventional education. But you need them fundamentals to even be able to function in society. I ain't telling you to go to college and be a doctor. I'm telling you to get the information that benefits the shit that you do that. It'll be great, but I don't even want to project it on because then that might be too scary for the motherfucker that feel like he ain't that smart.
But the thing is, and that's why I always said, being a beacon of light for your community, because like niggas always tell me, if you can do it, I can do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And my wife, she'd look at that and be like, I don't like them saying that to you, but it's okay, because that's why I did it. That's why I do what I do.
Give him hope.
Give them hope.
100%.
Like what Nip said, we ever spread hope to the hopeless? I do that shit. That's what I do. That's what we do. So we got to keep on doing that shit and keep on building other men, sharpen other men to keep projecting that in our community that is strong black men. Because they keep looking at the corners, Nuck and P1 and all them niggas over the corner. And they going to show love to the young nigga. I mean, but the scientists and the other nigga that used to live in the hood ain't fucking with the kids. Ain't fucking with the youth. Because I know the solution. And I always bragged about our organization knowing the solution to this shit.
Yeah.
You gotta get them while they're young.
No, that's a fact.
Because they looking and they learning.
Yeah, this is good.
Like you said about nature, like you said nature. This shit that they learn is learned behavior.
100%.
So if you show them something different, that's what they gonna know.
100%.
When we putting black doctors, we putting black lawyers, we putting black politicians, we putting black everything you can think of, financial analysts, everything in front of our children, just so they can see it's possible.
100%. And you can pick and choose out of whatever fits you and do it. But the key to it is doing it. You know what I mean? Like I do marketing. I wrote a book. I rapped. I did everything you could think about, bro. I started a clothing line. I owned a hair salon. I had a restaurant for a short period of time. I had to try shit.
And you know something just now, but I was gonna say learn a little bit about a lot.
Yeah, you
right?
see what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's why you just gotta give the shit a shot. Like you gotta give it a go. You know what I mean? And know that you worth something, and know that like you gotta appreciate your life, your freedom. And like I always said, and I feel like it's meant for me to share this. And this is the honest truth. The most selfish decision you could ever make in your life is being in the streets. You might think that you're doing it to help your family. You might think you're doing it to help your mom. You might even think that you're doing it to help yourself. But everybody loses if something happened to you. If you die or go to jail, God forbid, and this is to the older people that I'm talking to that might have already went in that direction. It might sound smart, it might sound like something. And like I said, I made that decision before, and I actually, in my heart, thought I was doing myself a service because I wasn't asking my mom for money. But I think that she would have felt better for me asking for her for money from the back room versus from the cell somewhere. See what I'm saying? Because that's more of a stress and a strain on your family and shit like that. So I always say that that's the most selfish decision you can make. But I do understand niggas having to do what they gotta do, but I just say we provide resources. Our company, I'll help you start a business, I'll consult with you, help you find yourself, help you find your direction. That's what we're here for. That's what Bigsnoop is here for. This is the shit that we didn't have. So when you say be a beacon, be the light in your community, it's about being the person that you didn't have when you were younger. He's saying be the change you want to see in the world. That's the ultimate reflection of what you see. You see people that look like you, and we ain't coming to y'all to preach to y'all. We giving y'all real testimony. How many years you did?
22.
And I know they know this by now because they watch the show.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that ain't a little bit of time.
I'm 43.
I did a couple months. I ain't like it. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, this shit nothing. You see what I'm saying? So imagine you giving half your life, half your adulthood to this shit. Now you donating the rest of your time to making sure that these kids don't follow in your footsteps. That's why I pick up you, bro. That's why I commend you, because that's huge. You know what I mean? And he throwing on that suit. You know what I mean? He ain't no, this ain't just any, he's still at the deep root of the community. He throwing on the suit to let you know that you do what you want, go where you want, be what you want, still be connected to your hood the right way. Just in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I tip my hat to you.
Thanks, bro, man. Thanks for coming to the show, man. We got to link up again, man. Do some business. Tell me where they contact you at, man.
Yeah, I'm available on all social media at WolfWSC. Facebook, Naeem Wolf Dangle. My book, Cheating is Not Cheating, is available everywhere. Just Google it. Ours is available on my website, thewolfhaspoken.com. And like, just tap in with me. I got a company called First Step Marketing. You know what I mean? Where we provide marketing services. We help people aid and assist small businesses, entrepreneurs start. We do business registration, trademarks, web design, graphic design, pretty much any services you can need. And we outsource. If we can't do it, then we'll find another team of brothers that can. You know what I'm saying? Just contact us. I do PR work for artists. I do artist development. You know what I mean? As long as my schedule permits it, I'm working with y'all. And if I can't, then you're going to catch me speaking the knowledge so you can take it for free, do what you want with it. And that's just what we're here to do. So I appreciate you again. And just check in. The Wolf has spoken.
Wolf has spoken, man. Tune in, man, to another episode of Tufftalk, man. Bigsnoop.